So in the first year of our marriage, we were trying to figure everything out. Like we had so many questions. We actually had this or that question. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some this or that questions, and we're going to try to run through these really quickly. Hopefully this will be helpful to you. So let's go for it.
All right. This or that.
Yes.
Rent or buy?
First year of marriage?
Yes.
I would say one, two, three. Rent. Yeah, I would definitely say rent first. Why would you say rent?
Because you get to know what you want in a space.
Yes.
If we hadn't rented, this is a personal, we're biased in this. If we hadn't rented, we wouldn't know what type of house we wanted.
Yep.
Of course, you can get it, but a house is a bigger commitment.
Yep.
So having a rental property first kind of tells you, oh, I like this. I don't like this. This is what I need. Without that large commitment.
Yeah, and I think also too, just really to add quickly there was that our income not drastically, but it definitely increased as we were getting out of the renting phase, looking to buy. Like our income increased, so we were able to buy a better property. And I don't know if you heard this term in real estate, but it's called buyer regret. Like sometimes people buy their first home, but then they regret it about 2-3 years later because they didn't realize like, hey, I'm locked into this. So, So we saved on buyer's regret and because we rented. So I definitely think renting for sure.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yes, go for it.
Sorry. Actually, you do the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. One. Oh, no. You say it and then 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. Joint accounts or separate accounts?
1, 2, 3. Joint.
Both.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll go for me first.
Yes.
All right. So I say 100% joint because I believe in team. Like I grew up in a large family. My parents were very generous. It's like 5 of us, so that's 7 in a household. And then my mom would just have random people over. So it'd be 10 people in a home. So everything in life was never mine. So I just believe in, and I play sports. So team is a big deal to me. So I'm just like, hey, it's not my money. It's not your money. It's our money. So just put it in a joint account. We figure it out later. So joint.
I agree with that. It's just, I'm saying both because it takes time to get to that, to make it all. Because when you say joint, people understand that as one account. One is checkings account and one savings account. And there's so much nuance. You have multiple accounts for multiple things.
Sure.
So you start with like personal accounts, but then it starts to migrate. So I think in the first year of marriage, you're going to have both most likely.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. New church or old church? Okay,
so preface, when we say new church, we mean that we're coming together. Should we go outside of our network to find a new church, or should we just kind of maybe go to her church or my church, whatever, right? Before marriage. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Old
new
church.
What? This one,
I'm
like
surprised.
So we've been together for like 8 years, right? I mean, we've been in community longer, but we've been together for 8 years. So I kind of know how she thinks, and I'm actually genuinely shocked. So let's go for it. I said new church, and then you said old. You go first. I went first last time.
I love community, and if somebody already has a community that's built, no, you can't change your answer.
Both. You know, is this multiple choice where the first one is the right one? No, both,
but
guys, both.
If someone has a community that they've already built, and you feel like you can join in on that, by all means. Finding a church is not an easy process. So if there's one that's already jumping out to you guys, on either side, I'm like for it. Old church all the way, man.
So I said, it's both. It's really both. Honestly speaking, I had to think about it, but I'll say why I said new first and emphasize that only because it's almost like there's no power dynamic involved, right? Like when you're coming into the conversation, you're coming into it from a pure perspective. Like, hey man, like I don't have any bias in the game. You don't have any bias. Let's just go ahead and find a new church, right? Like there's no bias. So that's why I was more so leaning towards, if you think about it from a purist perspective, like, hey man, like we're trying to forge a family here. Let's just go ahead and do what's best for us, leaving the single version of us behind. So that's what I'm saying. Now, granted, I was a whole I am, but I was a whole pastor at that time. And so you can imagine like, of course I would say old church. Yeah, come to my church. But she was heavily utilized at her church too as well. Like it was her dad's church. So, I mean.
We actually ended up doing a combination of like
well, it was
everything.
my church, but like you know whatever. But I will say the power in what you said is what you said. I agree. So it's both for me. It's really both. But I just wanted to accent the new because it's a beautiful experience to do something new together versus trying to orient somebody to a new thing, right? Like it's a powerful because there's no power dynamic. Like if I watch a new movie and I'm recommending her to a new movie, it's like I can tell you all the good stuff. So now I'm influencing your experience rather than we're watching this movie for the first time together. It's like, oh my gosh, what did you get out of it? Oh my gosh, what did you get out of it? So that's kind of how I see church from that dynamic.
Makes sense. Wholeheartedly agree with that.
Don't judge me.
Okay, the next one.
I'm judged.
Ready?
You got to say it first, then we go.
I know. I'm saying, are you ready? You
were
still talking about the last one.
I know, right?
All right.
About that one.
Okay. Spontaneous gifts or a planned date night.
Okay, spontaneous gifts or planned date night.
All right.
Okay,
ready?
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Spontaneous gifts. I already knew what mine was going to be.
Okay, I go first.
Did you go first? Okay.
Go ahead. You want to go first. You want to go first on this one.
All right, spontaneous gifts. I mean, that is really a surprise. It's a shock. It's like, I've been thinking about you. I love that. Chef's kiss. Planned dates are cool. I will always take a planned date, but planned dates take childcare. It takes much more. It takes more of an involved process on both ends versus like a spontaneous gift is like I was just thinking about you and I want to give you something nice. It's actually a gift. A planned date night is for the health of your relationship, and sometimes you gotta struggle to get there.
Yeah, so I'm a go big or go home kind of guy. So I'm a kind of guy where I'm like, big experience, big bang, let's go for it. So for me, I'd rather plan up for it rather than giving these one little sentimental one-offs. See, so that's self-seeking, right? Self-serving, because it's like for me, I'm like, yeah, flowers, great. I do it because she likes it. I should do it more often, but I do it because she likes it. But for me, it's like, was it really impactful? Money, I'm more of like, let's go bang. Like, let's go to a really good restaurant situation where we can create memories. Like, you're going to forget the flowers, after the next argument. But you can't forget a really good dining experience.
I have a gift list. If you got me something off my gift list,
yes,
I don't care for flowers.
See, but
my gift list, buy me something from that.
Yeah, but that's not spontaneous.
It's spontaneous because I don't know when it's coming. If you came up in here with the shoes that I've been wanting,
next. So plan.
Please.
I think plan is
no
better for
a date
me
night. It's like we all struggle. We got to get the child care. We're paying the money. Like I'm also it's a lot.
You so right.
Okay, next one. You ready?
You so right. Oh, you so
ready?
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yes.
Joint friends or solo friends?
1, 2, 3. Joint friends.
Both.
Yeah, I think it's a both.
There's no way it can be one.
Yeah, I don't think it's a one or the other kind of thing. I think it's both. You're right. And I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Like you have your couple friends where you can share like, hey, this is where we're at. Like there is so much power. I think when we first started, we're talking about year one, right? Year one, we had more solo friends than we did joint friends. And that we saw was unwise. It was unwise for multiple reasons. Number one, because solo friends, they have different values, right, than the values that you may be wanting to build in that family. So if you think about it, if all of your base and your support is geared around people who have different values, you're bringing those values in unknowingly, unconsciously into the relationship, which causes friction. So that's why joint friends are a little bit helpful in that regards, because hopefully your joint friends, they all have the same value because they're in the same space and the same time and season that you're in. And so it's really a both. I thought there was one on there about budget. Did we skip that one? Was that not on there?
What is it?
It was...
Whisper it to me.
It was budget versus... I don't know how to say a PC word for it, but budget or... going with the wind, I guess would be PC. Budget or flying by the seat of your pants. Budget versus flying by the seat of your pants. 1, 2, 3.
Budget.
100%. 100. I don't care if your personality is type B, where you're like, I'm creative, extraordinary. I do not care. Budget will save your marriage. God bless you.
Your marriage.
No, it will. God bless you. Love you guys.